Hi everybody, Honest John here. A few days ago, some of the United States top gymnasts testified before Congress about the Larry Nassar sexual abuse scandal. Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, Michaela Morris, and Michaela Maroney, and Maggie Nichols talked about this scandal. Now you have to remember something, that gymnasts start off real young. So when many of these young women got into the Olympic training program, they were just little girls. Very talented little girls, but little girls. And at first they didn't understand what Larry Nassar was doing to them. But when they figured it out, they stepped forward. And we all know what happened with the United States Olympic Committee. They just ignored them for years. And the abuse went on and on and on. But what was not well known was that these women, the young women, were also interviewed by the FBI. They were told what was going on. And what did they do? They minimized it. They covered it up. They falsified the statements in that report in favor of Larry Nassar. And then they didn't even issue the report. They just kept it in a drawer. Now, there were two FBI agents. One's been fired and one has retired. And one of them, at the time, was trying to get a job at the university where Larry Nassar worked. So he had a direct conflict of interest. Now, I don't know if these agents will ever be charged, but they should be. They should go on trial. Hundreds of young girls were abused because they didn't do their duty. They could have prevented those crimes from happening. So they're accessories, and they should be charged. But that's not the only cover-up the FBI engaged in. During the 2016 presidential campaign and the 4 years of his presidency, Donald Trump and his family and inner circle were all engaged in secret communication with the Russians. There was even an email server at the Trump Organization that was regularly in contact with Moscow. And all of this is reported to the FBI. And the FBI looked the other way and didn't report it. The Russians were also secretly funneling money to the Trump campaign and to the Republican Party. And as we all know, they engaged in a social media campaign designed to help Donald Trump get elected. And even though these facts are well known, they've never have been seriously investigated by the FBI. Matter of fact, during the Trump administration, Trump ordered that the people who were investigating him be investigated. And just like the Larry Nassar scandal, the FBI constantly looked the other way and covered up for Trump and his associates. And that cover-up continues to this day, and I don't think Merrick Garland is the man who's going to probe into that. He just, for some reason or other, he isn't. He's obviously the wrong guy for the job. But the truth is that Trump has been a Russian asset for years, long before he even thought of running for president. Matter of fact, he probably was encouraged to run for president by the Russians. His businesses have been propped up by the Russians for years because U.S. banks wouldn't loan him any money. So in return for this favor by the Russians, Trump did multiple favors to the Russians during his 4 years in the White House. He refused to implement sanctions against the Russians, even after they'd been passed by Congress. He made foreign policy decisions that benefited the Russians and harmed the United States, and he undermined our alliances on a regular basis. There is only one word for all that, and it's treason. Donald Trump's entire presidency was, in fact, an act of treason. The full extent to which we might never know. But even though Trump is no longer in the White House, the Russians still have assets in our government, including Marco Rubio, Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, and Moscow Mitch McConnell. Thanks for listening.